Hi friends, your pal Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about the suspected return of Dark Sun. So, the return of Dark Sun is a much requested change in Dungeons and Dragons settings. There's a lot of demand for it. People are very excited about it, and it's really exactly the same as the call for Planescape. Planescape had a real, genuine people calling for it, say, "Hey, we want this back. Can you please bring this back into Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition?" What's interesting is Dragonlance. I don't think there was a strong call for that to be returned to Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. But Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen did a fantastic job of returning Dragonlance back. So, first of all, is Dark Sun coming back? I think the answer is almost certainly yes, right? But it is not official yet, even though that the character class options right now, that's why everybody's like, oh my goodness, this is definitely going to come back. They're like, if you look at the Unearthed Arcana, these character class options are guaranteed these are all Dark Sun options. They are Dark Sun options. Does that mean we're getting Dark Sun? Probably, right? But it's very important to realize anybody saying Dark Sun is returning, that's not confirmed. Okay, it's just not confirmed, right? And one of the reasons why I say that is you just get a lot of clickbait, material now. We've reached a point where people, I was on a video the other day, and they're like, "Oh, we clickbaited you." They said within 1 minute we clickbaited you in the title, right? And ha ha ha. And I'm like, no, that's not funny. Like, it was the first time I was ever on that channel. I'll never go back. I just, I don't like that, right? So, if Dark Sun is coming back, what does that mean for a return of other settings? And it's worth talking about. So, first of all, if they're bringing Dark Sun back, which I think I would put it at a 90% yes, right? Like, but there is a 10% that it will bounce out, right? So it's not officially confirmed. But I would put it at a 90% yes. What does that mean for the return of other settings? Well, first of all, this is an incredibly problematic setting. There are three main problems with Dark Sun. Four, actually. The first is a subject so dark that so edgy that I don't even want to say the word. It's what America fought the American Civil War over, right? That concept is broadly leveraged in Dark Sun. So if they're bringing it back, one, I think they'll strip that out. They're not gonna go down that road, right? In addition to that, what do halflings eat? Terrible food choice. Okay, that's the second problem. Third is psionics. A lot of people are like, psionics isn't really. It breaks the feel and flow of D&D. I agree with that. I think it's a bad fit for Dungeons and Dragons. So that's going to be problematic. So, but I think they'll deal with that. They will put psionics in this, and that will just move forward, naturally. It's just part of D&D. It's almost like the monk. It really doesn't fit, but it's tradition at this point, and so they will keep it, right? And then the last is it's a world where the gods are gone. They don't exist. This is a problem because it breaks every other D&D setting where the gods are quite real, right? And also, it doesn't even make sense why it's in Dark Sun, because if there's no gods, how do clerics work, right? So it's very problematic. I think they'll drop that as well, right? So you're going to get Dark Sun. It will be Dark Sun in name, but they are definitely going to file the edges off, right? So with all that, what does that mean for the return of other settings? So one, I think there aren't that many settings that people actually want that haven't been returned yet. Okay, so what are the sums that we know will not return? I think we know Mystara is never going to return. And the reason why is we don't need it, right? We already have Greyhawk and we have Forgotten Realms. There's absolutely no need for another bog standard feudal medieval setting. Same thing with Blackmoor, which is Dave Arneson's setting. Never going to return. There's just no need for it. It's too duplicative. Frankly, I'm surprised they've really returned Greyhawk. There doesn't seem to be any need for the return of Greyhawk because Greyhawk really doesn't present anything of significance that isn't already in the Forgotten Realms. Okay, so since we already have 2 bog standard medieval European settings, there's absolutely no way they're going to return Mystara or Blackmoor, and no one's calling for it. No one's calling for it. All right, so what is the one that people are calling for? That's Rokugan. So Rokugan was a better name for what was a terrible name. They will never launch with this name again. But in second edition, there was Oriental Adventures, and they actually did print on the Rokugan book, the L5R book. You know, they in third edition they were like, this is the replacement for Oriental Adventures. So first of all, let me explain. Al-Qadim and Oriental Adventure will absolutely never return under their original name. Okay, and frankly, I don't think we will even get them even under Rokugan or any type of a Middle Eastern themed setting. There's no way they're going to return these, and the reason why is they don't want. I don't think there's ever going to be another. Hey, this setting represents this group of people. They'll never do it, and it is a little bit sad because I think the Rokugan book, Japanese culture is so popular in America, and we choose it and we focus on it over almost any other international setting, right? We really love the idea of the samurai and the daimyo, and the way samurais armed themselves, the way they fought, all of it. We are so down for that, right? So I think you're never going to get it. Those are not going to come back. So then, if that's the case, is there anything that people are clamoring for beyond that? No, there's not a lot of settings that people are. I do think there is a call for Rokugan to come back, for an Oriental Adventures analog, right? But I don't think they're going to risk it. It's extremely risky, right? Because if you don't get the representation right, it doesn't go well. It will not go well. So I think, and then I will say there's one more thing that may happen. So Thunder Ridge, yeah, I know. Thunder Ridge is actually a very old setting, and that might get returned the same way that the Guardians of the Galaxy got returned. People don't remember this now. The Guardians of the Galaxy are extremely famous now. But when James Gunn brought them forward, nobody knew them. Nobody knew Rocket Raccoon or any of those guys. It was like a super deep cut group of Marvel characters. And now that might happen with 1 or 2 other settings where they're like, you don't remember this, but it's still got some cool juice in it, and we're going to give it a squeeze. So we may get 1 or 2 more, like Thunder Ridge, some settings that were just really buried deep, that haven't been returned. That's my take on the setting, on the D&D settings that are returning. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.